Thank you so much, Mr. Hudson, for conducting an interview with me tonight. As I know, you have been the leader in consultancy for firm Imagination Incorporated for about 15 years, and you have been in the best leadership position for the past 15 years. And I came up with several questions that I will ask from you, and I'll appreciate for your replies. The first question is, what are the most important decisions you make as a leader of your organization?
Looking at the decision-making process of leaders and understanding that leadership is really an influence relationship amongst the followers and leaders, so that if you intend to have change or shared outcomes and purposes, that you can achieve vision. So to me, one of the focal points of making decisions in leadership is to make sure that the vision and the mission of my organization is communicated to most of my followers so that they can not only buy in but have tie-ins to achieving that to happen.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. And what do the great ideas come from in your organization?
Great ideas in your organizations come from everyone. Max Dupree, The Art of Leadership, had a book that explained that every person you're involved with in your organization can contribute. Today, you would see they call it total quality management. Usually those that are closest to the work usually come up with some of the best ideas, but anyone in the organization, knowing that they're part of a vision or mission, can bring ideas that can be considered, and we should have openness enough to do it.
All right. Thank you. And this is actually a very important question about the culture of the organization. How do you help a new employee understand the culture of your organization as a leader?
As an organization, when you bring a group of people together, usually there's things called values, beliefs, and at the same time norms that are consistent with what we call culture. So a new person has to be brought in and share within that culture, so that as a result, we teach them the way things are done there, but also what are our values and beliefs. So when we bring people in, the first orientation we've got is for them to know how to fit and the way things are done in our organization. It's called shaping the culture and the values of our people.
Thank you, Mr. Hudson. And what is one characteristics that you believe every leader should possess?
A characteristics I believe that every leader should possess would probably be one to build relationship with your followers, openness.
Right.
That quality allows everyone to share and to grow. A leader has a vision which is a clear, compelling picture of a desirable future. But a lot of times, that leader in doing that need to be able to relate it to the followers. So that openness allows you to communicate. And I think through that, communication and openness would be the strongest characteristic necessary.
Thank you. And we see that leaders in today's life, they face a lot of challenges. And what is the biggest challenge facing leaders today?
The challenge probably facing them is to match up the vision with management to get it done. Because a lot of leaders may have a vision, but then it also needs now the strategy to make it happen. And in today's ever-changing environment, that strategy may have to change consistently. So being flexible, being able to identify what are the strategic strategies needed to be implemented at the right time with the right people in order to encourage or make goals happen.
Okay, thank you. What advice would you give someone going into a leadership position for the first time?
Maybe you'd say don't, but a person going to leadership for the first time, my thoughts to them would be prepared. Be prepared to, number one, work with people. Be prepared to set strategic goals. Be prepared to have a vision in mind that people will allow you to buy into and tie into. Be prepared. Preparation is the key. A lot of times you have to develop the will to prepare. And a new person going to the leadership role, must develop that will of preparation because it's almost like uncharted waters. With a GPS system, you kind of know where you're going, but if you've never been there before, you might have a little bit of difficulty.
Right. Thank you. And what about how do you build teams, get people on board, and enthusiastic about your vision? Do you set aside specific time to cast the vision, or does this happen along the way?
No, vision doesn't happen along the way, and getting everybody to build into a team. A team which is a group of people coming together with a common set of goals, shared values, and at the same time sharing in what we're trying to accomplish. That does not happen naturally. So naturally what I've got to do is to put in every type of implementation strategy to make it happen. Most time teams, they don't become teams overnight. They become teams through interaction. They become teams through each understanding what we'll accomplish. So that's my goal as a leader, to direct those efforts where we do have shared vision, shared values, and we'll accomplish some common goals that are set out.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hudson. Which is the most important to your organization? Mission, core values, or vision?
You are correct to think they're very important. The mission means that we've got a purpose, and that purpose makes you dynamic in your own organization. It also gives you a competitive advantage and makes you different than every other organization. That is the mission. Vision is a clear, compelling picture of a desirable future in which we want to take upon and move. And the core values within an organization is what do we stand on as principles? What you will find, each seems to work hand in hand or collaboratively, but you need to have the leader to have these very well understood and being able to prepare to actually communicate those simultaneously. All of them are important. You must have a mission to anchor yourself in. You must have a vision to reach and have the stretch goals. But if you don't have the core values that support it, you don't have any legs on that stool. So that three-legged stool is going to fall without having all three working simultaneously together.
Right. Thanks a lot, Mr. Hudson. How do you encourage creative thinking and a proactive mindset in those you lead?
Creative thinking is very necessary, and I encourage that by talking with and communicating with each employee, letting everybody there know they're important. You don't look at importance based on titles or the job. You look at importance based on that person that's working with you that can vie and see where the organization is going and what it needs. I encourage it by opening up means of communications. I encourage it by having dialogue. I encourage it like putting up postings around the office so individuals could see that we not only cherish and honor ideas, but we're looking for new ways and new types of ways that we can achieve the goals of this organization.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hudson. It has been a great pleasure for conducting this interview tonight with you, and I think I got a very creative and very nice and perfect answers and replies for my interview. Thank you.
Well, certainly you're welcome. I applaud your efforts because as a social architect, as most leaders are, with what you're doing, you're getting a valuable set of informations that are going to allow you not only to understand being a leader, but also apply it to leadership in your goals of your own career. So wishing you the best in your endeavors. Thank you very much.
Thank you.